So it is hard to miss that there is currently a war raging between AI and artists. I mean, let's be honest, AI is somewhat infiltrating almost every single industry, but artists are hit particularly hard. If AI does something that is actually interesting and curious and good and goes viral, artists are kind of losing their mind. And let me put this out here as a disclaimer, okay? I'm an artist myself. I'm a 3D artist in the wider sense. I don't only do that, but I work a lot with 3D software and I visualize things and I use AI myself, right? It's currently an interesting time where the work I've previously done and the work I do now is kind of blending through AI into almost a new thing, so we can see industries shifting. I'm just saying, I am to an extent as threatened as any of you other artists out there by AI. I am not immune to this threat, but nonetheless, from an objective point of view, looking at the story that's unfolding, it's super interesting and fascinating, and it all started with this clip. It was shared by a Twitter account called Desimulate. Okay, I'm putting it on screen right now. You can follow him. And I don't know much about him, but he shared this clip, right? And this clip does something very interesting. It blends flat 2D planes with 3D environments, right? So you can clearly see kind of a voxel graphic style almost in the front here on the footpath that this character is walking. But then the houses back here where you just see the roofs behind the trees, they're already just 2D planes, it seems. So what AI does here, beyond showing this as like a fairly beautiful visual in and of itself, is it opens the opportunity to say, hey, why do we not create 2D planes that then as you get closer to them, turn into 3D planes? Now, this is very difficult to achieve, and the reason why we haven't seen something exactly like this in any other game is because we are all thinking almost from a 3D point of view when we create a game like this. So it's like there's a castle in the distance, that has to be a polygon. That castle, and maybe this could be a polygon, but to make it look like this, like a flat plane, is certainly something that I had never seen before. And I just felt like there is an element of innovation here, right? This is AI creating something. Obviously, it's just a mock-up, right? It's a concept. It's not a game. But it's creating something where I'm saying, well, I've never seen anything like this before. It's going to be hard to achieve, but the concept that I see here is very appealing, very fresh, very interesting. So I'm not hating on AI. I acknowledge that this is just a prototype. It's a short clip. It would be a monstrous amount of work to build a game that actually does this. But sometimes it needs something like this. Something fresh, different, maybe AI generated. And in fact, it doesn't matter whether an artist created this or an AI generated this, because we look at it and we're like, this is fascinating. This is beautiful. The clip went extremely viral. Everyone in the art scene, video game creation has seen it, right? It is a big deal. So we get loads of reactions, and this account, Desimulate, shared another clip. Here's another one like a few days later, obviously trying to build on the viral success of that one. Here's another clip where you're riding a horse. And again, you see these flat 2D plane trees on the right-hand side, yet the sun seems to be real. So the sun is kind of falling over this meadow and illuminating some of the trees on the right-hand side. You see it here, these bushes, they're illuminated from the sun. So it's like this beautiful mixture of 2D flat planes and sprite trees that then interact with the real light of a 3D environment. Like, it's super fascinating. There's definitely something here. And if you would be an artist who loves, I don't know, innovation in the world of video games, in the world of visuals of video games, and you see something like this, I don't understand why people are so angry. People should be like, this is very cool. I understand it's a GIF, right? It's not more than a GIF, but the core of what we see here is very cool. How can we bring this to life? It should awaken like some enthusiasm in you. It does that to me as an artist. I see this, I'm like, this is super exciting. Never seen this before. And anything that's new and fresh, like, I'm on board. I want to see that. But it does seem like a lot of people who are artists on the internet, they have a different take on that. They're not as happy. And I'm sorry, I find it somewhat funny, but I do know that probably behind a lot of these stories we're going to see, there is like bitterness there because people can't find work. And they have literally been put out of work from AI. So that sucks, right? I'm not saying that's right. But to be honest with you, that's a whole different video. Because ultimately, it's inevitable. What's currently happening with AI, in my opinion, is inevitable. We can try to fight it. We can try to limit it. But it is out there. And it will be a thing. And we will have to arrange with it. And to be honest, just to give artists out there maybe a little bit of hope, I think at least in the foreseeable future, what we will see from AI are great tools that we as artists can use to create things that we usually would create by hand in a much faster way, and we can tweak it. So I think we're going to get that first. We're not all going to be replaced by AI, but we're going to get powerful tools that allow us to work more efficient and make our work easier as well. But so this was out there, right? And people reacted. So here's one little beautiful reaction that I want to share with you guys by a guy called George Crudo, okay? He's a ZBrush digital sculptor, right? It's exactly the people I'm talking about. 3D character art. They hate that this thing went viral. They hate it so much, and I know there's bitterness there, but I can't help myself but laugh about these posts, man. Check it out. Here's George giving his take.
Guys, you're not going to believe this, but I am the first human on the planet to recreate the art style that AI invented the other day. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is doing what I'm doing in 2.5D pixel art in 3ds Max. You know, I'm a genius. I'm the next Kojima. In fact, no, I'm better than Kojima. This is better than Death Stranding. Give me $6 million right now, motherfucker.
Okay. You get the idea. The bitterness. He's trying to be funny, right? He's like, it's just a joke, man. It's just a joke, huh? AI is an artist. It's like, oh my God, dude. Just give us a level-headed commentary. If you're a ZBrush sculptor, you should be fascinated by this. Like, this is visually intriguing what's happening here. Not like, look, like the sarcasm in there. But it is really clearly not like sarcasm that comes from a point of confidence. This is like sarcasm that comes from a point of insecurity and threat and panic. That's how this feels. Here's another post by Mickey D. The original post down here says, I wish this fake game made up of an amalgamation of other people's work and talent was real. And it's just Daggerfall. And then he posts like a picture of Daggerfall. And then on top saying, sorry for making the AI lads mad with this post of an actual playable game and taking the time out of their busy schedules of asking Grok how to make a woman climax. Oh my God, he's getting personal. They're so triggered, they're so angry. And I understand it. Again, it comes from a point of fear and panic that they are losing their job too. A lot of this is slop, right? Don't get me wrong. I do also think that a lot of the AI art out there is complete garbage. It is awful. It is terrible. But just because 80 or 90% of what AI produces is garbage doesn't mean that 100% are. There's still the 10, 15, let it be 5% of stuff like what we saw in the original video, which is really interesting. Where I'm like, okay, you know, you didn't make a game, but you showed me something I hadn't seen before, and that is cool. But these guys are clearly very, very bitter. Here's someone else trying to replicate it in his own AI. This one is Midjourney prompt here, and then someone replies and says, AI art is truly remarkable in that not only it is bad at making anything itself, but the people who use it are too stupid to see how bad it is at making anything. This is all so bad. All this AI thing, I don't want this AI thing. We have to stop progress right now because I don't want the AI thing. It looks like garbage. It's like, yeah, okay, I see what you did there, right? Like what we see here, it doesn't look great. You can see the hand is like, it's a mess. But if you are an artist, my friend, then you can see past this and you can see a clip like this and be like, there's something in there. There's something fascinating. How can we, walking to this village, it's a 2D sprite. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of this particular piece, right? But as you walk down this path, the little houses left and right turn into 3D houses unnoticeably. And now you can go there, you can interact with people, and you look back at the forest you're walking in right now, and now that looks like a 2D sprite, right? It's cool. It's a cool idea. I don't give a shit if AI does it. I don't care who created it. It's a cool idea. And as an artist, I love this, but people are freaking triggered, dude. Here's another one. So it led to loads of clones, right? People trying to recreate the feel here, often obviously mixing with Elder Scrolls visuals and all that. And then this account called, is this a 3D model? Okay, obviously a polygon supremacist. These are 3D artists. People like me, right? They build stuff, but they have such a bitter view on all this. And this guy writes, no. And do you guys have any original ideas? Do you have any original ideas? Like, you obviously can't execute anything. So the thing AI users should be good at is coming up with ideas. But all they do is find some one random something that trends, and then they all do the exact same thing, running it into the ground. Dude, oh my God, you see what I mean? This is the point of this video that I want to make here. The bitterness of these artists. I understand that you see your whole career and livelihood at threat here. I understand, me too. Everyone is in this together. I am not excluded in this in any shape or form. But dude, the bitterness. Can you not see that this AI thing, while as I said, a lot of it is garbage, is an amazing tool of inspiration. It's an amazing tool of quickly visualizing ideas. It's an amazing tool of getting a thing, you'd create something, give me 20 variations. Sure, we all used to do it by hand. But you gotta wake up, man. We're in 2025. This is not gonna go away. So use it. It's gonna get better. Don't fight it. It's not gonna go anywhere. We have to live with it, work with it. I'm not saying you have to love it or embrace it, but dude, it's here to stay. And then people are actually posting interesting reference videos of retro video games that did a similar thing. And I kind of love this because it's a good exploration. So here we have someone saying Sega did it first in reply to the original post, showing, I guess it's a Jurassic Park game, must have come out around the time when Jurassic Park was a thing. I'm not familiar with this game, but you see what happens here, right? They use 2D sprites. I love the raptors from the left and the right. Very good stuff. But they use these 2D sprites and look at the landscapes there in the distance. They're almost photorealistic, but then pixelated. So they use this mixture of 2D sprites that then seem to become 3D. But it's not the same. It's not identical, because I think what the other demo, the little AI clip did, is it actually started to turn the footpath, the trees close to you, in somewhat of a 3D object. So there's exploration needed there. But this is an exciting and interesting case study. Someone also here, Niles Sankey, okay, comes forward and says, honest take, there's no game that successfully reproduces this aesthetic. It's been a week and I have yet to see anything close. I wish devs would actually discuss why it's so challenging. Instead of people's emotional hatred for AI, it's preventing that discussion from happening. Thank you! Exactly that. Exactly that. Talk about the art style. Why is it appealing? How could you achieve it? What technology do we have to do something similar? Push the envelope. Video games are in a deep hole, dude. We've seen everything. Every game feels like something we played before, and very rarely you get something that's really outstanding and big, yet we get 25 million games every year. I'm exaggerating, but to see something like this that's truly fresh, different, and innovative in its visual appearance at least, is rare. So work with it, embrace it, have the debate if you're in the world of video games. Don't be like, I'm scared of AI, so I'm not even talking about, come on, man. What is this, a freaking nursery? It's ridiculous. And some people do this, some people do come forward, like here we have Luna Minx, saying, okay, I've tried to recreate the similar scene in my game. Luckily, I've already had loads of similar assets. So he was working on something similar already. What do you think? So he, she, Luna, might be a girl, is replicating this here. And some of it is cool. Like, I like the trees. I think, obviously it's also just a tech demo. This is not a finished game. He is just demoing how it could work. And I love this. It's like, that's the right approach. Play with it, right? At the moment, it still lacks the depth. The other original clip we looked at felt like you're looking at this castle that's kilometers, miles across this valley you're looking at. But that's fine. Like, this is a prototype. This is version 0.001, okay? Let's work with it. Let's try to explore it. But as Niall said as well, we're currently blocking ourselves from even having this debate because all the artists are so bitter and angry about freaking AI taking their gerbs. Took a stab at the first-person pixel art fantasy game concept thing. I really love this idea. Would be an enormous challenge to make it work in a real game engine, but fun to imagine, says Kieran Ritchie. That's right. It would be a huge challenge, and I'm not a game developer. I'm not an Unreal Engine expert, so I know that it's very challenging to take 2D planes, and then as you would walk to them, they seamlessly turn into 3D. There's some real magic happening there, okay? If you can make that work, but let's explore it. Let's not stop the conversation before it has happened. This stuff looks cool. This looks engaging. It looks fun. Is there a way to make it happen, right? And it led to all kinds of other people like Breezy here, exploring a slightly different direction. Still somewhat stylized pixel art, especially in the distance, but it seems like you can see more of the 3D as you get closer, right? Like this kind of hay mound here on the left and these bushes, or the grass here, almost seems like a 3D plane. So nice exploration here. I really like this as well, but I would hope that, for example, the landscapes in the distance look more like traditional old school pixel art. But it's a great exploration. Like, this is what we need. People need to start looking into it. And people try to replicate the original thing here as well. This is in Unreal Engine, but obviously this is just like you take 5 planes, put them behind each other, and now you can walk on one. So it's not really what we need. It's a much deeper exploration, but it is happening as we go along, and I think it's great that it's happening, and I think it's fascinating that AI kicked off this conversation. Ultimately, it will be a game that will be handmade by people, and I'm sure we will see something like this at some point. This has kicked something off, and right now people are working very hard somewhere to make this happen, and that's a great thing. I want it to happen. I'm glad that AI brought it forward in the way it did. We don't need to be angry at AI, okay? It's not personal. It's just generating things. And if we haven't seen those things and they're fresh and innovative, take them on board. Be inspired. Use AI as an artist, as a tool of inspiration to play. It's an amazing playground. Use it for what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my take on this little viral clip. If you enjoyed it, Smash the like, subscribe to this channel. We're very, very small and powerless on YouTube. So share the clip, subscribe, join our Discord. I'll link it in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And leave your thoughts in the comments, right? That's what people say. I'll see you. Bye.